This is no ordinary Christmas party. Every year, people with disabilities come together here to celebrate life, freedom, and independence. Many were told they would never be able to live in homes in the community.
Bigger than ever, huh?
Yeah.
How many people tonight?
350 people.
Wow, that's incredible. So you're crammed to the walls, huh?
That's right.
Each year, there are more smiling faces, familiar faces, proud faces. This is their story, the story of a family of advocates, people with disabilities, parents, caregivers, and staff at a human service agency, the Macomb-Oakland Regional Center. The story of how they pulled together to forever change the lives of people with disabilities across the world. This is their story of freedom.
Deep river, my home is over Jordan.
Bye. Have a good day. Oh, I will.
20 years ago, when he busted out of the Oakdale Regional Center, Mark Stillwell never dreamed he'd be celebrating a cold, dark New Year's Eve, busting back in.
Oh, wow. That's big. A lot of ground.
Doug Cush, his caregiver and friend, volunteered to go with him. Mark Stillwell was 2 years old when his parents were told he would get better care at Oakdale. He spent his childhood, 16 years there. The Lapeer State Home for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic opened in 1895 and stood for over 100 years. It became the Oakdale Regional Center for the Developmentally Disabled, a virtual city housing over 6,000 people. It was the largest facility of its kind in the world. If you had a disability, you could have spent your whole life here without ever leaving. They might have buried you here, too. Mark Stillwell received good care at Oakdale at first, but he was abused as he grew older.
I endured quite a lot of anguish, pain, and suffering.
Rodney Perry loved setting up the dining room at Red Lobster, just down the road from Mark Stillwell's house. Nearly 20 years later, like Mark Stillwell, Rodney Perry visits his childhood home.
Okay.
Rodney Perry himself was just 2 when he was placed in what was then a brand new institution, the Plymouth Center for Human Development. And like Mark Stillwell at Oakdale, he couldn't get out until 16 years later. Built in the 60s, Plymouth Center housed nearly 1,200 people. It was eventually shut down under federal court order because of widespread abuse and terrible living conditions.
Many of the retarded in state institutions are more physically handicapped than those found in private facilities. So it is with Rodney Perry, age 5. Rodney has been fitted with braces and hopefully will be taught to walk.
How does that feel, Rodney? Does it feel okay?
Yeah.
And like Mark Stillwell, Rodney Perry suffered from abuse in the institution.
The lady took me into the bathroom, into the back bathroom shower area, and she slapped me a couple of times.
For those who show some academic ability, there are classes.
Count again. One at a time. Count it. Let up. 1, 2, 3.
They had like a crib bed, and she put me in that thing, and she, slapped me in the face and everything. Then she left me in there, and she pulled up the slide and left me in there for a long time.
The institution's staff has watched Rodney. They know him. He's not lost in the herd.
They found Rodney Perry a foster home, but it didn't work out. He'd stay at Plymouth another 13 years.
For Rodney Perry, age 5, life is about to become one big, continual field trip.
In the early 70s in Michigan, there were over 20,000 people with disabilities in over a dozen institutions, much like Oakdale and Plymouth. For years, organizations lobbied the legislature to build another one, this time within Macomb and Oakland counties, to spare parents from driving hundreds of miles to visit their children in institutions around the state. In 1972, an institution for 650 people, the Macomb-Oakland Regional Center, was to be built in what is now Clinton Township, Michigan. America was changing, however. Women and minorities were gaining rights, segregation becoming less and less acceptable. Families, advocates, and Macomb-Oakland staff believed that people with disabilities belonged in society. Construction of Macomb-Oakland was stopped at a facility the size for 124 people. The family of advocates became obsessed with finding people homes in the community instead. They didn't figure, however, that it would take a revolution to move people next door. Soon-to-be neighbors protested with hate-filled meetings. They used political muscle on legislators and city and county officials to keep homes out of their neighborhoods. Some used legal muscle, spending tens of thousands of dollars of neighborhood association money in the courts. Still others shot up, bombed out, or burned down homes to keep people with disabilities away.
This house was burned down just before a group of mentally retarded people was to move in.
There were death threats, too.
Garbage! Because you made it garbage! I'm never gonna quit! But nobody in this room here should quit! You son of a bitch, you're crazy over she died! Oh my God, you put those people in there? You don't think I'm not gonna shut up?
They're not like anyone else.
The American dream is to own a house in the suburbs with nice people like yourself next door and kids like yours down the block.
The media jumped in. 25 million Americans watched the drama unfold as 60 Minutes visited a group home supported by Macomb-Oakland.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Parents and people with disabilities fought back. The spirit spread. Government officials took strong stands.
We are going to live together in the communities of the state of Michigan.
A sense of urgency swept through Macomb-Oakland.
Let's get as many people out as possible, as quickly as possible, because they're going to close the doors on the people. We need to get people in the community living in everyday life. It was a life or death situation.
Positive neighbors made their voices heard.
It really isn't a group home. It's a residence. They're just people like we are.
Non-profit organizations who ran homes supported by Macomb-Oakland won every lawsuit filed by neighbors, 75 of them, and eventually won in the Michigan Supreme Court.
Do it for you. Do it for me. Yes, thank you.
People with disabilities wrote thousands of letters to the governor and legislators. Patty Carnotti and Marjorie Thorley, who lived in Oakdale Regional Center for over 40 years, had enough. They wrote to the governor to get them out.
We put, Dear Governor Blanchard, here we are, just writing to you. We are two handicapped girls. We both are smart. We've been in Lapeer 46 years. Don't you think it is just about time you done? Something about it?
People even organized a marathon relay run where people with disabilities and advocates ran from Detroit to the state capitol in Lansing. There they staged a mass rally that drew people from all over Michigan. People with disabilities ran up the Capitol steps and hugged the legislators.
In all of my time in state government, this rally is probably the most meaningful and impactful on my life of any that's ever happened here, and I thank you for what you're doing.
The rest is history. In 25 years, the family of advocates had helped close 10 institutions in Michigan, including the Macomb-Oakland campus itself, and 10 nursing homes too. Across the world, Macomb-Oakland helped close the infamous Willowbrook and 6 other institutions. Thousands of people were freed. Thousands never had to enter. Finding homes in the community unlocked the doors to life. People with disabilities could now make friends, win jobs, go places, live dreams. When James Ladd arrived at Oakdale at age 11, there wasn't much of anything he could really call his own. Not a room, bed, kitchen, even food. He shared everything with 8, 10, 20, 50 people. He couldn't do much of what he wanted either. Even simple stuff like checking out the fridge or staying up late. Other people told him what to do and when to do it. Things are a little different now. After 26 years as a patient with 6,000 other people, James Ladd is calling the shots as a homeowner.
Oh, yeah.
Do you prefer if I call you James or Mr. Ladd?
Mr. Ladd.
Mr. Ladd, okay. Whose house is this?
Mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
How long you live here?
I'm here. Here.
That long?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about this living room.
That's my furniture.
What do you got in here?
Television.
What do you like to do here?
Sleep.
What else?
Eat.
What else?
I take a bath every night.
Do you want to give us a tour of the place?
No.
When Pat McMillan, his home provider, first talked about home ownership, Mr. Ladd knew just what he wanted.
He says, call the bank. That's exactly what he said. Call the bank. Get on the phone.
And you did, huh?
Yes.
Did you pick out your own furniture?
Yeah.
The pride that he takes in his own home, having something that belongs to him. It's not something that somebody's just lending to him or he's renting or someone can take away from him. It's actually his. It just makes him happy to have his own place.
Mr. Ladd benefits from what's called supported living, a life choices program through Macomb-Oakland, where people, no matter how severe their disabilities, can choose to lease or own a house, apartment, or condominium. Do all your own laundry?
Yes, I do. Every night, boy. Every night.
That's a lot of laundry. Do all your own grocery shopping?
Yeah.
Wow. So you get to pick anything you want out of there, huh?
Yes, I do.
There's a lot inside of this man that has yet to come out, and it's kind of exciting to be one of the people that can see that coming.
They say a man's home is his castle.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Hey, can we move in?
No.
The Clinton Valley Center, a large state psychiatric institution in Pontiac. Construction began before the war. That's the Civil War. A short time ago, Clinton Valley was shut down too. Macomb-Oakland helped hundreds of people with serious mental health needs to move out, mostly to homes in supported living.
Yeah, I like it.
What's good about living out here?
Oh,
I want to try doing
we get food
Do you?
on a house to live in.
Moises Jimenez had been in Clinton Valley for years. Now he lives with several roommates in a home he rents.
Where do I like to go? At the mall? Farmer Jack's.
Moises Jimenez directs the action at his person-centered planning meeting.
My life has been changed. My life now, I'm much more happier now here.
Supports often include support coordination, nursing, psychology, occupational speech and recreation therapy, dietary, medical, psychiatry, and employment services.
Maybe with the help of God, I'll get well.
Jacket or a house coat? I got all.
Moving day for Alice Berry.
They won't be coming back here, huh?
She's heading out of the nursing home and into a townhouse with a friend, Mickey, in what is called shared lives.
There's a key.
It's a big difference from the nursing home, huh?
Yeah.
What do you think?
This is nice.
The foundation of shared lives is the relationship. A person with a disability chooses to share a home with an individual or with a family. James Shackelford lived in institutions for years, then a group home. He became friends with the co-manager, Craig McFerrin, and they decided to share a home together. Craig McFerrin has since married and has a family. And now, so does James Shackelford.
I didn't stay home. I get her baby needs again.
He likes being here, and I care a lot for James, and James is just part of my family now. I'm just looking forward to us growing old together.
You come on like a dream, peaches and cream, lips like strawberry wine. You're 16. 16. You're beautiful. Beautiful. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Kids lived and died in institutions and nursing homes, never knowing the warmth of a home and family. Staff at facilities often said that no family would ever want to care for the children. They were unplaceable, and that no one could possibly provide complex health care in a home. Children would certainly die.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Macomb-Oakland believes there is no such thing as an unwanted child, just unfound families.
Put your left hand in, you put your left hand out.
Macomb-Oakland became an early champion of family support, helping kids go back home to their families, like here with Maureen and the Earpses family. It pioneered funding for families, preventing countless children all over Michigan from ever leaving home.
Very good.
With support and training, families could provide specialized care right at home. Hundreds of families like the Zappiks opened their hearts and homes by becoming foster and adoptive families.
That's right. I knew you knew.
Because of her medical condition, Michigan's court system was going to ship Connie Bennett to a nursing home in Wisconsin. Connie was rescued by foster mom Beatrice Bibbs.
You happy? Are you happy? Why are you so happy? Because of what? Because, okay.
We're the Johns family.
Over 10 years ago, when both Chris and Shane's birth families couldn't care for them at home any longer, the William and Kathy Johns family found a place in their heart. They first became foster parents, then adoptive parents. The Johns family enrolled Chris and Shane in school, regular school, not special education. 7 years later, Chris is here at Rochester Adams High School.
As I thought about his life in the future and getting a job where he would live, who would be his friends, who would be contacts with him, I thought, you know, it makes a lot of sense to get that started now and let that community build and let him grow with that.
Alle zusammen bitte, das Flugzeug.
Das Flugzeug.
Der Zug.
Der Zug.
Lessingstraße.
Lessingstraße.
We visit people. I don't know.
Chris is often assisted by other students or peer tutors.
Before I started working with Chris, I didn't really care about school or anything like that. But now that I started working with him, it like gave me a reason to go to school because I wanted to see him. And also because now this is like what I want to do when I graduate. I'm going to major in special education and hopefully help more kids like Chris.
You come out like a dream, peaches and cream, lips like strawberry wine. You're 16. 16. You're beautiful. Beautiful. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Second hour Adams Choir, Chris's favorite class.
It's kind of a good experience for us just to, you know, get to know Chris and, you know, how he is, and it's just a real good experience for all of us to see him and him be with us, and it just worked out real well.
And he's part of our family, and again, learning how to deal with it, and like Chris says, and just becoming wiser and deeper and more understanding.
Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I want to cross over into Canberra.
Springtime at Meadowbrook Theater. The biggest of days for Brother Shane. Graduation day from his high school, Rochester High. Time for Kathy Johns to make a big fuss like all moms do.
Okay, have a good time. Bye. Good luck. We'll be watching for you. Good luck, Shane. We'll be watching. Good luck.
Shane Eric Johns.
Who has the most friends in the world? President Clinton, Michael Jordan, Pamela Anderson, Billy Crystal. The correct answer, of course, is Michael, Janet, John, and TJ, who live in their group home on Westland Street in Orion Township. Over the years, they've made more friends from all over the world than you can shake a stick at.
They meet new people, and new people meet them, and it exposes everyone. New worlds, I think, that they don't ordinarily get.
A new friend for TJ today. Vesna Mariah is the director of an institution in Zagreb, Croatia.
Slatki, kako si? Jesi dobro? Reci dobro sam.
They don't have homes like TJ's in Croatia.
I think they can't believe that people who have medical involvements like this can be in the community, and also that people who have these kinds of challenges are even alive.
Macomb-Oakland has 300 small group homes, most for 2 to 4 people. Here, TJ and the gang not only receive tender loving care, but quite complex health care as well.
I never know that we could do something like this, you know.
The governor of Maryland is a friend. So are health ministers, professionals, families, students, and radio reporters from Australia, England, Hungary, Czech Republic, and 10 or 20 other countries.
Would you say that Westland has had more visitors than Disney World?
Well, I don't know if we've had more than Disney World, but we've certainly had a lot.
All right, rock and roll, yeah!
For many people with disabilities, jobs, real jobs, have always been a faraway dream. Such was the case for Margaret Prinz when she entered Oakdale in 1933 during the Great Depression to begin her half-century stay. In those 50 years, she received no schooling and worked only a short time in the woodshop, making 87 cents an hour. Now, Margaret Prinz has a place of her own and is riding high at Target department store.
Hi, Margaret. Hi, Margaret.
At Target, Margaret Prinz has received several company awards for her punctuality and longevity.
I've been here 5 years. I help the guests. I pick up things that don't belong. If there's any clothing, I take them to the fitting room. How can I help you, ma'am?
Yeah, she did. She just helped me find some thank you cards. Yeah, so if you had been like a second sooner, you would have seen her in action.
Everybody here knows Margaret. She's just part of Target. And she's really good at her job, too.
I like it. I wouldn't work no place else. I tell them hang it up.
Through what's called supported employment, people receive supports or accommodations to help them succeed on the job. David Allen has worked at L&L Grocery for 5 years and no longer needs the support of a job coach. He works 6 hours a day in a variety of jobs, in the deli, cleaning tables, and recycling containers.
David Allen knows what he's doing. Other people don't.
And Michael Gallagher does just about everything at the Nugget.
All the customers love him. He's got his favorites, and everybody loves and enjoys working with Mike. He does a good job, and he looks forward to coming to work every day. Really does. And I think it's a big part of his life, actually. I really do. And we enjoy him. He can stay here for as long as he'd like.
All right, rock and roll, yeah!
We are concerned, and we're going to stay concerned. So I really hope that you'll take this into consideration.
There's Barbara Burgum, a parent, out there at another meeting, plugging away.
It's real people with real needs, and some of them have very complex needs.
And there's Sylvia Marchand, a parent, making sure her voice is heard yet again. Parents and families, the lifeblood of Macomb-Oakland. With all the meetings, battles, and millions of things to do to make life better for their loved ones, you'd think they'd just get plain old worn out and say, I quit. Yet parents and families keep on going and going, advocating and advocating.
Enrichment for the whole community, because they can value from all of us being there.
They belong to the Association for the Macomb-Oakland Regional Center. For 20 years, its members, all unpaid volunteers, have tirelessly led the charge for better lives for the loved ones who are served by Macomb-Oakland.
I get it.
Hi, how are you? Who am I talking to?
Me, you.
Well, who is me?
My friend.
Here, Ruth Taylor and Dale Champion serve as a parent monitoring team. Caring moms and dads, armed with love, monitor all 300 group homes supported by Macomb-Oakland.
Hi, Valerie. How are you?
The teams look to see how home-like a home is. Because they're parents, they spot things that elude professionals. They're the experts. They know the kinds of homes in which they would like their loved ones to live. Parent monitoring teams have made 13,000 visits and counting. Dale Champion, whose son lives in a home, has been a volunteer for 17 years.
I think it makes us all feel better that if we can go around and see for ourselves what's going on.
Ruth Taylor, whose son also lives in a home, helped found the parent monitoring team in 1979.
A lot of the people are not able to speak for themselves, so we're out there speaking for them and demanding quality care.
When Macomb-Oakland began finding homes and supporting people with mental health needs, its lifeblood grew stronger. Families new to Macomb-Oakland have brought a new strength and a new spirit as they advocate for their loved ones.
They call, they ask, they challenge. They are the best bulwark, the best defense in favor of their children.
It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but the end result is that there's a better life for people with disabilities.
A cup of kindness yet for old lang syne.
Oakdale closed in 1992. Mark Stillwell is one of 1,000 people Macomb-Oakland liberated from here. Time for one last look.
Look at the claws on that thing. I'm right in the way, Mike.
You're in the way, Mark. You're in the way of knocking down Oakdale.
Bye-bye.
Hey, 2 cranes. What do you think of that?
I like it.
Why did you want to come back today to see this, Mark?
Because it's the book and was closed in my head. I would like to close it permanently, forever.
Do you have a crib like that?
Yeah, when it was small.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like a cage?
There's a cover on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It looks like a cage.
Yeah.
Building 35, Mark Stillwell's childhood home. New Year's Eve is getting colder.
I know we could go. Try to get inside the building.
What, you mean break in?
No.
Do you want to break in?
Yes. What the hell?
Hey, it's locked.
Yeah. Oh gosh, they have metal sitting out here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mark, you're back.
Huh?
You're back.
Yeah. The boys were on the right. The girls were on the left. As you can see, it's very dark in here, so we can't really.
That's because you broke in and it's night, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Oh yeah, sliding wall.
I'm not gonna say nothing if you won't.
No champagne, no candlelight dinner, no party favors. Only the haunting memories of youth in the barren back wards of an ancient institution. In the 20 years since he's been out, Mark Stillwell has served on just about every consumer advisory committee at Macomb-Oakland. Now he's on the board of directors of this $134 million human service agency.
He has added his personality, his perseverance, his doggedness to that group.
I'm gonna be this book's person for MORC until the day I die. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Whoops. I thought you used to be a direct care staff person, Jerry.
Yeah, I was.
The Plymouth Center closed in 1984, also long past due for its appointment with destiny. Rodney Perry is one of hundreds of people from Plymouth Macomb-Oakland liberated.
I said this place was the worst place that's ever been. All the horrors have been going on in here.
Time for a last field trip to Alfred Benet Hall, where he spent much of his youth.
And then they'll load up the truck with all the rubble.
Alice Sauls, a parent with the mighty Plymouth ARC, helped shut down Plymouth. Her son Chris a victim of abuse, lived in Benet Hall too.
He lives in the community and has a couch to sit on and a bed to sleep in and a cover.
The wrecking claw made fast work of Benet Hall before they arrived. It's mostly gone now.
Pretty cool, huh?
Oh yeah.
How cool?
Real cool.
Jerry Provençal, now the director of the Macomb-Oakland Regional Center, was a direct care staff person on the wards in Benet Hall for 3 years.
It's a good day. It's a fine day.
Alan Greenkey from Wayne Community Living Services looks for a memento.
So what's the problem?
See, it's scratching here.
Geez, that wouldn't go real good with the graffiti, would it?
No.
Elizabeth Bauer, the mom of a daughter with a disability, was the training director at Plymouth. Now she's the director of Michigan Protection and Advocacy Service.
The screeching and squirreling, because those were the sounds I heard in the night here when I would stay overnight and wander through the halls. Those were the sounds that lived with me for always, that said I would have to work all my life to be sure it never happened again.
Marcia Tuck, whose young sister Melissa lived and died at Plymouth, was a student teacher there. Now she's an attorney for Michigan Protection and Advocacy Service.
It's a good day for people with disabilities. It really is.
Well, there'll never be another Plymouth in this state. There'll never be another institution built in this state because of places like Macomb-Oakland, and we're going to continue to make sure that we're a part of the community and our people are seen as a part of the community, contributors to the community, and we're going to continue to do what families want us to do and what people with disabilities want us to do.
Yeah, great. Ash to ashes, dust to dust. The Plymouth Center.
We are here to stay. The agency, the people, the spirit. We're not going away.
Got it.
The Christmas party is nearly over now, but the celebration continues every day for Mark Stillwell, Rodney Perry, and thousands of people with disabilities.
There is a new sense of urgency, however. There are new threats to the safety and security of people with disabilities. They are always at risk to lose what they have gained, to get less in life. In the battles that lie ahead, the family of Macomb-Oakland will push even harder to help people with disabilities have the best lives possible.
Cross over into Cameron, yeah. Oh, don't you want to go to that gospel feast? Here we go, big. That promised land where all is peace. Cross over into Cameron.